there who would pay for me to stop talking. So this was their risk to take, and their belief in me is a priceless gift. I can never repay them, so thank you. As Rebecca said, my name is Loubel Gaelic. I am an almost native Houstonian who infinitely loves this city and its people. I am blessed to be able to work with nonprofits throughout the city as a consultant at Sterling Associates, but I'm also very lucky to work with many incredible organizations outside of my job, and Life Houston is one of them. When I was preparing for this, I did some research on what makes a great keynote speech. The first, know your audience. I know you are all here for Life Houston to honor Reverend Pitts, and some of you are here because my mom made you come. Nevertheless, I am grateful and I am honored. Number two, keep it short. I promised myself I finally get champagne when I finish, so this should be done in a pinch. Number three, make your family proud. Before I came up on this stage, my parents and my husband right here said that that was a given. So if anything, I accomplished that today. And number four, tell a story. I was relieved at the last one because that is exactly why I was asked to speak today. Believe it or not, it was because of my Facebook posts. The funny thing is, I am not good with new technology. My Sterling friends at Table 1 can tell you my biggest fear in life is to connect a projector to a laptop. I don't tweet, and to this day, I still don't know where the cloud is. I got a Facebook page to keep up with my young interns, communicate freely and at no cost with my family in the Philippines, and let's face it, see what my high school and college friends look like now. I got the hang of it, and I started posting various nonprofit events I wanted people to go to, subtly hinting I worked out this morning, ran 3 miles, hashtag so tired, and posting pictures of me beaming from beautiful, beautiful places, and no one knowing I had just yelled at the picture taker, waist up, waist up. You do it too, I know. I then began posting stories of my family, my neighborhood, my city. I chronicled hilarious conversations with my parents and my cousins, random observations of complete strangers that inspired me, one-liners from brilliant friends and coworkers who probably didn't even know I was listening. To my surprise, my Facebook readers laughed and cried and said, I can totally relate. To my husband's chagrin, I started posting more tales from the life of Gaelic. From the beautiful 80-year-old Indian woman who walks in a full sari down my street for exercise. She always laughs and calls me the smiley early riser from the house with the yellow flowers. I also posted about the young fireman trainees who run without their shirts on the same street at the same time, who probably call me the crazy lady with the awkward smile from the house with the yellow flowers. I began posting quiet adventures, and my Facebook friends began to like them. And I started telling more stories, and y'all like them even more. And that's how we got here today. Some ask me, how did you meet all these people that you write about? I think it goes back to my childhood and my grandpa. My grandfather was the world's best storyteller. He once told me, Loubel, everyone's life is a book, and everyone you meet is a chapter. That has resonated with me for 37 years. Everyone has a story, and if you take a moment, just a millisecond to listen, and then pass it on, those are the stories that make the world go round. We are surrounded, sometimes overwhelmed, by the news and commentary of what media and other sources find extreme and interesting. Mostly death, violence, sex, and politics. But we need to remember that it's 1% of what happens on this planet. 99% of what happens not overly exciting, but it is very compassionate and wonderfully human. I am not saying that we live in a benign world. Bad things do happen. There is inequality, homelessness, addiction, war, hungry babies. But know, when you are watching your evening news, the world outside your window is far more interesting and real than the world inside your TV. I have found telling other people's stories is infinitely more fascinating than telling your own. Listening and learning about the people you see in your daily routine can light up your life more than an episode of Scandal or another People magazine cover of the most recent presidential debate. For example, I'd like to tell you a quick story, one of my favorites on Facebook, about my friend Anita. The worst secret in my life is that off and on for the past 5 years, I have been going to Weight Watchers. And if my dedication to the program and exercise was half as deep as my dedication to French fries and Malbec, I would be their biggest success story. I attend the same weekly meeting and notice a teenager coming with her mother. She would come in shy and terrified, and I silently high-fived her, knowing I would not have the courage or self-awareness to do this at her age. When she was given a shout-out for losing 10% of her goal, I went up to her, and not to even tell her she looked great. Anita was kind, quiet, and said 2 words to every 100 her mother and I spoke. But we did strike up a lovely friendship, and she is 99% of the reason I still attend. I learned Anita was a junior in high school, top in her class, and a great athlete. But hip injuries led to an inability to work out and a heartbreaking loss of self-confidence. Thus, her unexpected weight gain. One week, I asked what they were doing that afternoon, and Anita's mom said they were going shopping for a Sadie Hawkins dance dress. I told them the guy I went to the Sadie Hawkins dance dress I actually married. I don't think Anita's mom really liked that. Anita said they weren't going shopping. She did not have a date, and the guy she was going to ask was probably going to say no. I said, of course he'll say yes. Anita said, he's skinnier than me. He's fitter. All of them are. He's going to say no. I was somewhat speechless and said, be brave. You are more spectacular than he is. A week later, I woke up to an email that just said 4 words. Loubel, he said yes. I posted that on Facebook with great pride of her courage. Hundreds of you cried along with me at Anita's story and terrified hesitation. And even more of you threw up your arms in a grateful hallelujah when I got the email that he said yes. But the best part was after I posted that story, I received a call from the local spa that a gift card was waiting for me. Confused, I asked the receptionist, who is the card for? It's for your friend Anita and her dance. It's signed, a grateful reader. To this day, I don't know who this generous soul is, but I do know hundreds of you reached out to me and said Anita was your favorite news story of the week. People loved reading her book and being a part of her life for just a moment. It's storytelling at its finest. And that leads me to Life Houston. You are all here because you think the mission is a great one. Life Houston, like the Reverend said in Nicole, is the only agency that provides emergency food for the infants in this city. Incredibly important and vital. You see the pictures outside and in here, but who are these children? I spent a morning at Life Houston to meet some other families. Their stories are simple, yet loving. I met Betty, a 27-year-old single woman who came to life with her 2-year-old son, William. 4-month-old Mason was back home. Betty claimed that Mason now goes by the nickname William calls him, Booger. Betty was from Waco and moved to Houston earlier this year before Mason's arrival so she could be closer to her family. She now works at a local factory making bolt caps for cars. She shyly admits she knows more about cars than men do, and winks at me. She doesn't make much, but it pays the bills and allows her to work 4 10-hour days and saves costs for babysitting. While we were talking, William was playing with his football, his obsession for the week. Last week it was turtles. Betty isn't able to provide enough milk for Mason and receives formula from WIC, the Women, Infant, and Children program from the city of Houston. But the cans provided doesn't last the family through their month, thus their visit to life. A can of formula lasts about 4 days and costs $19 each. Betty says she recently got a small raise at the Bolt factory, yet paying $38 for Mason's formula would be a tight squeeze. Life, she says, is a godsend. I also met Tawana. Tawana came with her son Aiden, who was 2, and Amaya, who was 7 months. Tawana is the oldest of 3 girls and promised her younger siblings they could name her children. When Aiden was born, her middle sister got the honor and named him after a character from his favorite television show. When Amaya was born, the youngest sister, who was studying computer science, named her after a binary code that lets us browse the internet. When she told that story, Tawana smiled and said she was never making another promise to her sisters again. The family was at life because Amaya was lactose intolerant and needed special formula. Like Betty, Tawana receives formula from WIC, but it does not last the month. Tawana works the night shift from 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. at the guest transportation desk at Bental Hospital. She likes the job because it allows her to be with her children during the day. But Amaya's formula costs $31 a can, and that is the normal cost of the entire weeks of groceries for the full family. One can see how proud Tawana is of her children. Aiden is polite and exceptionally well behaved, sitting on the chair pretending to read the pamphlets his mother gave him. Tawana said he was on his best behavior because he had thrown a tantrum earlier. Aiden thinks he's Batman and wanted to wear his cape and was told he could not. Amaya smiles easily and desperately wants to sit in her own chair like her older brother. At home, Aiden thinks she is Robin. Tawana told me she was grateful for life because they keep her daughter healthy. And just as a surprise, this is Aiden and Amaya. Aww. So when you give today, in addition to life's mission, think of Betty and Tawana, William and his turtles and his little brother Booger, Amaya and Aiden. By coming to this luncheon and supporting life without even knowing it, you are characters in this chapter of their books. And you are the heroes, and you didn't even have to wear your Batman cape. With all that being said, know you have played a huge part in this chapter of my book, and I hope you continue your part in reading and sharing others. I am the lucky one I know. I have parents who could be their own romantic comedy. I am married to the wittiest person I know, and I have the world's greatest job with the most benevolent hearts. As a community, I say it is our role to spread these stories and tales that inspire, unite, make us laugh, and allow us to celebrate small victories like Anita's, Tawana's, and Betty's. There is nothing people won't share if you ask in a compassionate and legitimately interested way. We all have the power in the art of storytelling. The best news is not found in any media outlet. It's shared around the dinner table, around the office Keurig machine, and whispered amongst best friends. How is your book? Today, Life Houston plays a role. Who's going to be in your next chapter? From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your time, and thank you to Life for this opportunity.